everyone, my name is Carol and welcome aboard to Knitting on the Hook. In this tutorial, I'm going to walk you through the steps to knit this sweater. It is a hand knit pattern that I adapted for machine knitting, and you will find in the description below the knitting instructions and links to tutorials to help you with the neck shaping and pattern A, which is a seed stitch ribbing. The majority of the knitting is done on the machine with the exception of the neckband, which is done by hand using a set of circular needles. So let's have a look. This is a closer view at pattern A, which is a 2-stitch repeat plus 1 over 2 rows. This is the symbol of a knit stitch in machine knitting view from the back of the fabric. So after casting on, you will knit across and back, and you will reform into a knit stitch every second needle and repeat these 2 rows as required. This is the schematic for the back of the sweater. First, cast on 79 stitches, 39 on the left, 40 on the right. Your tension dial should be at 5.2. Knit pattern A for 16 rows. Row counter 16, change color, and the tension dial to 7. Knit 2 rows. Row counter 18, go back to your main color and knit to row counter 20. At row counter 20, 36, 52, 68, and 84, we're going to increase 1 stitch each side to shape the sides. Row counter 102, start shaping the armhole. Cast off 3 stitches, knit across to 103, cast off 3. 104, 106, and 108, decrease 1 stitch on each side. Row counter 152, shape the neck. Cast off 29 stitches in the center from 15 right to 14 left. Place 15 left to 38 into E position and the carriage into H position. 152 and 54, decrease 1 stitch on the neck edge, and row counter 156, cast off for the shoulder. To shape the opposite side, place the row counter back to 152, the carriage into end position, and rethread it. Place needle 15 left to 38 into working position and decrease 1 stitch at the neck edge at row counter 152 and 54, and cast off the shoulder at 156. This is the schematic for the front of the sweater, and the same principle applies to the front as it was for the back. The only difference is between needle 21 right to 20 left, you will continue on in pattern A all the way to the shoulder cast off. Row counter 108, start shaping for the neck. Cast off needle 7 right to 6 left, and place needle 7 left to 38 into E position, and place the carriage into H position so we can start shaping the neck one side at a time. Row counter 126, decrease 1 stitch at the neck edge, and repeat this every second row 9 times. Row counter 156, cast off the shoulder. To shape the other side, place the row counter back to 108, needle 7 left to 38, back into working position, rethread the carriage and place it into end position, and repeat the decrease process. This is the schematic for the sleeve. You're going to cast on 37 stitches, 18 on the left, 19 on the right. Tension dial 5.2 in pattern A to row counter 16. Increase tension dial to 7. Row counter 20, increase 1 stitch on each side. Every 6 rows, 14 times. Row counter 108, shape the sleeve cap. Cast off 3 stitches, knit across to 109, cast off 3. Row counter 110, decrease 1 stitch on each side. Every other row, 17 times. Row counter 146 and 147, cast off 4 stitches. 48 and 149, cast off 3, and 150, cast off the remaining stitches to complete the sleeve cap. The pattern for the neckband is a 3-stitch repeat over 2 rows, which is why it has to be divisible by 3. Using a circular needle, starting on the left side, pick up 106 stitches. Row 1, you're going to cast on an additional stitch and knit all the way back to the left side and cast on one more stitch. These 2 stitches will be used to seam the neckband and the sweater. Starting with row 2, knit 17 stitches and place a marker. Continue on the other side. Row 3, knit 17 stitches, place another marker, and come back, and you will repeat row 2 and 3 6 more times. Row 14 and 15, all the stitches are knitted, and cast off at row 16. Seam the neckband to the sweater and the center of the neckband together all the way up to the stitch markers.
Thank you for watching Knitting on the Hook. Bye for now.